Welcome to the Black in Motion podcast, powered by Rise Free Media, with your host, Braxton Simpson. What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Braxton Simpson, and welcome back to the Black in Motion podcast. I'm so excited to have you all here for another week. Thanks for rocking with us, and I'm so excited for our guest today. Today we have Mr. John.
How you doing? It's Coach John here, life coach, personal trainer here in Durham, North Carolina.
Yes, and we're so excited to get into all things fitness, life, mentorship, all the things today.
Dope.
So excited to have you. So we'll just jump right into it. Do you want to maybe just introduce yourself and tell everybody a little bit about you?
That's the hard part. Always talking about yourself is hard.
Yes.
But I am originally from Elizabeth City, North Carolina. Shout out 252. Moved here about 8 years ago. Opened up a gym called GTA Fitness. Greater Things Await is what the GTA stands for. And I have been doing this fitness thing for about 10 years, but I have had my own brick and mortar for about 5. This is my 5th year actually. So I'm just excited to continue to grow.
Awesome. We love it. We love an entrepreneur. So you have so many different things going on. So maybe let's chat about that. So you have GTA Fitness, then you also have We Run Durham. Yeah. So can you talk to us a little bit about how both of those came to be?
So actually, I guess you can kind of say I was chosen. I didn't necessarily want to open my own gym. Yeah. I also didn't necessarily want to start a run club. But the people around me really pushed me to do both. I guess they've seen something in me that I didn't see in myself during those times, especially during COVID times. So the gym, my clients that I had during that time, they found the location for me, gave me the first month's rent, and they also gave me the deposit as a gift. So I was actually gifted the gym, to be honest with you, and I had to step up to the plate. I had no business acumen at all.
Wow.
And as far as the run club, again, people, they had seen other run clubs popping off, and they was like, "Hey, you should do a run club too." And I was like, "Why?" We had ran during COVID, because that's the only thing we really had to do.
Right.
Work out and be outside. But as far as me thinking about leading a running group or a social hub, as I like to call it now, it wasn't in my plans. But again, I like to build my own things and then, bring the people together that I like to kind of have in my environment. So
I love that. Yeah, I'm always seeing all of this stuff on social media, so it's so exciting. I'm like, I gotta get out there and run.
Yeah, come on.
I'm not a runner, but I'm gonna get out there.
We got walkers too.
Do a little walk. So let's talk about rebuilding and thriving post 2024, both election and pandemic.
Okay. So
post pandemic, how did you rebuild not only your business, but your community's mindset around health and wellness?
So I think for me personally in my journey, I didn't start building my business until COVID. So I was working for another gym at the time right before COVID, and crazy enough, I had just dropped a online program at the time. It was called Bag 40. It was a 40-day challenge. And right when we started doing it, 2 weeks after we had started it up, COVID hit. And when COVID hit, everybody was just really chiming in on it. I had a couple of celebrities doing it.
Wow.
I had a lot of people from Toronto, everywhere.
Yeah,
everywhere. Everybody was chiming in because there's nothing else we really had to do. And I was already kind of doing the social media thing before it really got popular. So it was just kind of easy at that point in time to make money.
Right.
It wasn't saturated. So I was making, I told this story before, but I was making probably $10,000 a month from doing the online fitness.
Wow.
And I had never seen that kind of money before a day in my life.
Yeah, and it's such a different avenue because traditionally, people say, "Oh, you can't make money online."
Right. Yeah. But everything changed. Of course, before that point in time, it was people making money online already, but it really shifted to online during that point in time.
Right.
And it kind of changed everything. So I was able to have that money to put towards the gym after I was gifted it. And I think people's mindsets had already shifted at that point in time as far as taking fitness more serious because you had a lot of time to deal with yourself. You couldn't really go anywhere. You couldn't, you would buy clothes and things like that, but you couldn't do anything with it yet.
Yeah.
So you had a lot of time
just to have it.
Exactly, just to have it. So it was more so one of the things where I was carrying the energy from COVID because everybody had found out how important it was. So that I got that boost, and I just had to figure out how to keep it.
Like, let's go.
Let's go. Yeah, exactly.
I love it. I love it. So what shifts did you kind of notice from a standpoint of like mental and physical health of Black folks after 2020? And how has your gym kind of served as a space of healing for folks?
It was tricky during that time because, you know, at one point in time it was like, oh, Black people can't get sick from COVID. And, you know, so it was really a lot of misconceptions, a lot of like people trying to deal with the information, whether it was true or false.
Yeah.
So during that point in time, dealing with the shifts, it was some people were coming out to at that point in time with outdoor classes, and again, like they just needed community. They wanted community really bad, and I just made sure I posted to make sure that, hey, y'all come out here, let's work out, let's get moving, and just really ease back into it. And you know, wear your mask. You feel like that makes you more comfortable, but you don't have to because we're outside. Exactly. Social distance. I had to really figure out all those things while being the leader in a fitness space. So it was a very tricky moment because you had to make sure I didn't want to break any rules.
You want nobody to get sick.
Nobody get sick because, you know, people had parents and grandparents
that
gotta go home too. Yeah. So it was tricky trying to figure those things out, but, you know, luckily we made it through, and it ended up working the best for everybody during that time.
Awesome. I love that. So from your perspective, how can fitness and movement kind of be used as a tool for community resilience and empowerment, especially during times of political and social unrest?
I feel like that's one of the most important times to move. In some areas, there's some things you really can't control. And if you allow the media to kind of like control how your moods are, you know, you come home and you might see something on social media. Like the news is no longer even important. It's like everything's on social media. All the news we get it from there.
Yeah.
So you're scrolling.
You even gotta watch the news.
You even gotta watch the news no more. So with all these platforms now, I feel like, you know, being away from your phone and being in places where people remind you that there's still good times happening in the midst of all of these things that are kind of out of our control. I feel like that's what my space kind of helps people remember. It's okay to get outside. It's okay to, you know, be around people. It's okay to just turn off your brain for a second and just have fun. So I feel like that's what the movement is, the medicine.
Yeah. That's good, because that's something I'm starting to realize now. So I think obviously, like in COVID, I was outside taking my walks and stuff. There was nothing else to do. But I don't know if I would necessarily had that mindset towards it. But I would say now, kind of post 2024 election, that really tore us down. Like it really broke me down. We can talk about that because I know you have a lot of women that attend your gym. So it's kind of that health and wellness from a Black woman's perspective. But what has helped me has been kind of getting outside more, taking a rest, and like, okay, let me go take a walk. Or, you know, I've started signing up for like fitness classes and things like that to just that helps me get my mind off of things. And you're right. I think movement is medicine, because anything that's like bothering me in life, when I'm working out or like dancing or whatever the case may be, it's like my mind escapes that for the time being. I literally feel myself come down. Like I feel myself de-stressing. And I just feel better about the day. Like I can go back for the evening, like go home, get ready for bed, and attack the next day without the stress that the day built up. Yes.
Yep. So as far as when it comes to Black women, and what was the question you had said?
I mean, I know you have a lot of Black women at your gym. And I know that specifically after this last election cycle, it hit a lot of Black women very hard. So I'm sure you probably got a lot of that at your gym.
So honestly, what I try to do at the gym is not talk about politics. And not because I don't think it's important. It's just one of those things where I try to make sure that the space that I curate is one of those spaces where we can, we talk about it, but not to the point where it takes over the whole entire class.
Stressed out again.
Exactly. So there have been times where we would have discussions. I do icebreakers at the gym. And that's just a moment for people to kind of to touch base on the thoughts that they never had to say out loud. Right. So when it comes to the political part and everything that happened, like during that election, everybody was really like really down. Like it was that the numbers was low in classes because they were trying to figure out what was going to happen with their jobs. They're trying to figure out what was going to happen. Just like with, having kids, there was so many things that they were like, carrying. And I had to remind them that, we still have to take care of ourselves no matter what first, no matter the things that, we are dealing with in the world that we really, in some instances, can't control. We do the best we can, but we still got to keep pushing forward and just look into, to the hope and, trust in God or whatever you believe in. Yeah. And during that point in time, it was a moment for me to learn from Black women versus lead them. So I had to figure out, what is it that they're feeling? Like what is it that, they are kind of harnessing and weighing on their back at this point in time, because it'll be a transition that we're all going to have to get used to. And I think I did a good job with that.
Yeah, I would say so too. And I've seen like just some of the ways that you've uplifted Black women, partnering with Black women through different events and things at your gym. And I think it's awesome. So I kind of want to get into that a little bit more.
Okay.
So we're going to shift into the intersection of identity. So you being young, Black, and male in today's America. So you created a space where Black women feel strong, seen, and safe. So how do you center their voices in your approach as a male coach?
Well, like I said previously, I learn from them. I don't lead them. I of course I have to have certain things that I have to be in control of because it's my business. But there are a lot of different things that a woman goes through, hormones, emotions, things of that nature that I don't understand. And it's not really talked about in the household or in the Black community when it comes to whether women are dealing with postpartum or, dealing with different types of just like times of the month. It's one of those things I had to figure out, as well as after pregnancy when they're trying to work on their core and get their bodies back in shape. There's a lot of things that I had to learn.
Challenge.
Exactly. And so that's the time for me where I have to be quiet and have to figure out, okay, what does that actually mean? I don't need to be a coach right now and trying to tell you what to do with how your body performs, and you figure out how to maneuver and make my training style like correlate with what your body's currently going through. And it's still something I'm learning, but it's one of those things where I realized that I had to have a listening ear at that point in time. Yeah.
So from that perspective, what have Black women taught you just kind of through training them and learning from them that has shaped your leadership style?
Well, the first lesson came from my mom, actually. That's part of the reason why I go as hard as I do now when it comes to running my gym and my run club. A lot of people know I don't relax too much. I'm usually always moving. And my mom had got diagnosed with cancer like in 2011 or 12. And the thing that had kept her like healthy was her moving.
Really?
So the doctor gave her orders, don't do anything, just rest. Don't do any housework, et cetera, et cetera. And we, she's around the house still cooking, still cleaning, still moving in the garden, planting plants and stuff. I'm like, why don't you sit down somewhere? We was all getting mad at her. And she was like, this is my life. And
I'm gonna live it.
Yeah, I'm gonna live it. So, that she was like, I'm not gonna let the doctors tell me what I can and can't do. And she every morning kept doing the same. When she was just tired, she would take a rest. But besides that, she stayed moving the entire time. So I was like, who am I to complain about being tired? My mom had cancer, going to chemotherapy, and legit moving
around
every single day. And there's nothing wrong with me at all. So I was like, well, what I need to be chilling for? Why do I need to be relaxing so much if she can do that in the midst of having a disease? You know what I'm saying? So that's what taught me hustle, exactly. So that's the first thing I learned from a Black woman. As far as like that I can hold on to and bringing it here to where I'm at now. But as far as like in my clientele, it's just it's being able to take criticism, positive.
That's a good one.
Being able to take criticism and not allow my ego to get in the way. And I like that I'm a straight shooter, so I like people that can straight shoot back to me. And there's a lot of women in the gym that will tell you exactly, where you messed up, how you went wrong. And I gotta be, big enough to say, what, you're right, and let it go. And again, there can be moments to where things get misunderstood and misconstrued, but you have to be got mature enough to know that there's a better way to handle certain things versus just always holding grudges or things of that nature. So it's actually a very cool relationship to have.
That's important. I like that because I know a lot of women. Sometimes things like that can be hard, and especially I think people like to kind of put out that message that Black women and men can't really communicate with each other, and we 100% can.
Yes, for sure.
You know? And I like that you talked about the importance of like addressing ego, and like the patriarchy does exist,
right?
But how if we choose to feed into it or not.
Exactly. Yeah. Everything's a choice.
Yeah. So in a world that kind of often sidelines Black women, how do you affirm their power and presence through your work?
Through my work, I feel like like I feel like on social media right now, it's funny because a lot of people like it, but they talk down to their clients, or they make I guess depending on what you're into, it can work for you as far as you got a trainer or a coach.
Yeah.
But I just more so try to give positive words. I try to make sure I uplift people that's around me because I feel like we get enough beat down throughout life. You don't need to come to me and get another one.
Right.
Even if you feel like it's encouraging,
especially if you're trying to get yourself together, get your body together.
Yeah. I can be stern and direct without having to call you out your name or without having to belittle you or make you feel like you're less than. If that doesn't like you, that's fine. But I thought there are different ways to encourage people to just continue to understand they're stronger than what they believe.
Right. And
I feel like through the weights, through letting them know, they may say, I can't lift that, I can't do that. And we have like our max out weeks where we're challenging ourselves, and I'm challenging them to do more and understand that, hey, you are who you think you are, and you're gonna be who you think you're not gonna be. Right? If you think that you're not gonna be this powerful person that can lift 400 pounds, I promise you that you can. Right? And I have to learn their bodies, I have to learn how they think about things, I have to learn them each and every one individually, and meet them where they are, but get them where they want to be at.
Help push them a little bit past where they thought they could do. Too.
Right, exactly. And it doesn't take me to have to call them out their name or
get them all riled up.
All riled up and negativity, like we used to do in football and stuff like that, in order for them to feel like they're stronger than what they think they are.
So you played football growing up. So how was that shift, like in the way that you were coached as a child to how you approach coaching as an adult in your own business?
The shift was interesting because the times where we were asked, could we get water, or could we do this thing? Nope. It was no.
You're not thirsty.
Yeah, you're not really thirsty. It was things like that. So that, and then also growing up in a household to where there wasn't a lot of like verbal affirmations or things like that. It was just a lot of just actions.
Right.
So there was like, we didn't say things like I love you a lot. We didn't say things like, oh, you look nice today. We just through jokes. So everything was kind of like passive and just in a healthy way, but in ways that like wasn't direct. Right. So I felt like me going through different levels of training and me getting in different areas and traveling different places and learn how the professionals do it, that helped me understand that this doesn't have to be how I was taught. I can do it a different way.
Right.
Yeah. And a lot of people that I worked for tried to get me to change. And you gotta yell. I should hear you from here. I should, you should talk to them like this.
Like there's a different approach.
There's a different approach, and I put it in my spirit. I can do those things. It's just that I don't have to. I don't have to go to work and be aggressive.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Think about maybe also how you felt at the time. Like you don't have to like everything. But like I really didn't like it.
I really did. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
So I don't necessarily want to put that on somebody else either. Oh, that's good. So we're gonna transition to adulting while Black. So navigating career, finances, mental health. So being a father, an entrepreneur, and a coach, how do you balance pouring into your children, your clients, and yourself?
I feel like there's balance is always one of those things where it changes every day. I feel like most people try to figure out balance, but there isn't a balance that you really need to try to hone in on, because things change daily, every day. And I used to stress myself out about trying to find balance, but I just started to realize that I am balancing it. Mm-hmm. I'm doing the best I can with what I got.
Well, every day.
Yeah, every day. So one day it may be me spending more time with my daughter and sacrificing work. And that day it may be me sacrificing time with my daughter and put more time into work. Mm-hmm. And then just communicating that with my daughter. She's very intelligent. So I can talk to her and say, hey, look, I got to work. I got to do this. And then she'll be, well, how long? Mm-hmm. And she'll ask me, well, when you coming to bed? So it's like kind of stuff like that. So, we communicate well enough. And with my daughter, with, how I handle my work, to where everything now is a lot less stressful, but also learning how to delegate.
Yeah.
So I think that's one of the most important things, that if you are an entrepreneur, you're in a position where you're controlling things and it's all on you, mm-hmm. learn how to delegate. Yeah. That's been one of the most powerful things of delegation. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So speaking of those sacrifices, what are some of the sacrifices that you made to ensure that your business thrives while still being present, in your daughter's life?
I think one of the biggest sacrifices I would have to say is know how to say no. Mm-hmm. Know how to say no and know when to say yes. Every opportunity does not have to be one you take, right. So I feel like in moments to where I may even have a session with a client, and if I know it's something my daughter it's a graduation or something, it's important to her. It's one thing I probably never get the opportunity again. I communicate with the client, and I just hope they understand. Right. And it's one of those things where my dad was always there for me. Mm-hmm. I'm in a very different position to where I'm an entrepreneur. Nobody in my family is an entrepreneur.
So you're first generation.
So I'm first generation. Yeah. So he had, side hustles and things like that when y'all made sure he was taken care of, but he never missed anything.
Right.
So I have to figure out that balance. You know what I'm saying?
Without feeling too bad, because you're creating a life and a legacy for your child, but at the same time, you don't want her feeling like you missed anything.
Exactly, yeah. So it's one of the things where you have to know, and again, have to communicate. So it's still one of those things where you have to, it's an ever-growing process.
Still figuring it out
all the time, yep.
But that's good, because that's something that she'll learn from. And you never know, she might be an entrepreneur one day.
Oh, yeah. She already trying to be one. So. Yeah.
That's so cute. So we'll shift to community and culture. Mm-hmm. You built a movement with Rerun Durham. Mm-hmm. Rerun Durham. Yep. Tongue twisted. So how does that reflect the pride and the power of Black culture?
In that aspect, it's always funny because people will say, "Oh, it's a Black group that runs." Mm-hmm. So like other Black people,
seeing that.
Right? So a lot of people, especially in Durham, I feel like it's an area where it's dominated. White people are running in the city a lot, mm-hmm. and I think that we don't see enough of us outside enjoying the weather. We're usually in the house or at the club or or at work, handling business, right?
But not
active outside
in big, like in a masses.
It's right. Yeah. So that's the goal, is to of course, like, have inclusivity, but also understand that everyone is welcome to be able to move their bodies freely. Mm-hmm. And when it comes to the Run Club, it's been a place to where people that haven't seen themselves and haven't seen their friends in years or since high school can reconnect. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then also places to where people can network, and also places where people can have the opportunity to network and collaborate with the businesses that they may have a business that benefits the business, right? And it may be a side hustle for them, but it's something that the business that I introduced them to, or that they introduce themselves to through the Run Club, mm-hmm. to benefit from.
Yeah, so it's definitely expanding the community, connections, network,
right?
All that, and it's free.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's free. Yeah,
that's like the best part.
Yeah, I wanted to make sure that when it comes to being able to come outside on a Wednesday or a Saturday, that you understand that part is something that you can do on your own, mm-hmm. right? You can really go run for free on your own.
Yeah.
But when it comes to doing it in the community, I want you to understand that, like, you're not gonna get that vibe or that feeling of being safe and feeling seen. If it's your first time, I'm gonna make sure that we speak to you, your name. Yeah. Make sure that you felt like you were like taken care of the whole way, from the starting the run, from the end of the run, and that should be free. You know what I'm saying? But we try to do things where that we can make money to put back into the community from our festivals, from our socials. So that way we can continue to do things and give even better experiences.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And I think it's important for people to know like how accessible it is too. That's awesome. And especially like, I think for me, like when I think about running, I'm like, oh my gosh, can I do it?
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
Like
we can walk too. Everybody really get a little like intimidated by when it's it's a run.
A mile.
Yeah,
like
right. Yeah,
running?
yeah. And you know, most run clubs definitely have a walking group. I can almost guarantee that, you know, probably 90% of all run clubs got a walking group. So if you see you run, I know that y'all probably like, I ain't doing that. Just ask, DM them, and maybe hope they reply.
You'll be okay.
You'll be okay. But if you go out there and then you see everybody running and a walk, you go right to the car. But we got a walk club. Walk somewhere. Yeah. But definitely the run club definitely has a walk club as well.
Okay, nice. So, what are your hopes for how Black-owned wellness spaces like your own will continue to serve as community pillars in the future?
Oh, I hope it's something that continues to grow because whether people want to believe it or not, we are the heart of every city. We are what keeps every city going. Yeah. Our money keeps every city funded. Yeah. Right. Because we like to have fun. We like to go and have a good time. We bring the vibes. No matter what we go with, no matter how many side eyes we get, we bring the vibes. We make sure that other people are taken care of. Right. So I feel like I want to see more, and I hope to see more people being outside, being active, and doing things to where the local communities are being taken care of as well as we are. And that's why I partner with Missy Lanes, because it's a very historic place. Yeah. And also the people are just dope. And it's funny because I had met one of the co-owners in the gym before I even knew that they was opening the spot up. Yeah. So it was like kind of one of those perfect time kind of situations. And he was like, reached out to me, like, hey man, we gotta make this the home of the run club. I'm like, you're right about that, because it just makes sense with everything kind of changing, gentrification, and people trying to push Black businesses out to continue to help support one of the most important ones in the area.
Yeah, I love that. And speaking of Missy Lanes, the other co-owner, Cicely, is my pro bike. She's AKA just like me. Okay. And you're new. Yep. Yeah, you're a Kappa. Yeah. So how has your experience just being a part of your fraternity really just kind of informed or been a support system for you as you navigate entrepreneurship, brotherhood, manhood, all the things?
I feel like it taught me to just tackle everything, knowing that you're strong enough, you know. And then the brotherhood, my line brothers and the brothers I have in my chapter, they are always giving wisdom. They're always, you know, giving places for where you just feel like you're able to talk to somebody. And you know, even if some people might not have a relationship with their father or a relationship with you know, their friends anymore, there's always going to be a place there. That brotherhood. And again, like I feel like it's one of the things you really just taught that you're strong. You know, you're no matter what the world throws at you, you're able to handle it. And I've taken that also throughout my entrepreneurship career. So I feel like everything that I've done that has led me up to this moment I'm in right now.
Yeah. I love that. I love how that's the cool thing about like the D9 orgs. They build a lot of character.
Yeah, build a lot of character.
Yeah, and the connections are just unmatched from all different types of walks of life.
Especially if you know how to use them.
Yes, it's using those tools.
Yes.
So what role do you think, and this is just talking about the future of Black political and social influence. So what role do you think fitness and mental discipline play in shaping a more like politically engaged and socially aware Black generation?
I feel like when it comes to that, like, again, like just being able to just move. Like the more that people that's in the political positions come out to the community and move with the community, it'll build an even stronger sense of just feeling like, okay, he sees us or she sees us, and
we good.
You know what I'm saying? So it's one of those things where like majority of the time you see people in political positions just on the podium, you know, but you may not hardly see them out in the community, moving with the community and understand that I move like y'all move. and I want to make sure y'all see that I'm here to support y'all. So I feel like the more people that are trying to be political or be in positions of the higher power like that, making decisions, they come out more into the community and join these walks, join these movements, then you'll see a very big shift in how people deal with each other, how they deal with you as well.
Yeah, I like that. And also how they receive, like, when it's actually time to be civically engaged and when it's time for us to actually go out and cast our ballots. Like, you've been in the community, walking with us, running with us, tackling our wellness with us too, or, that plays a part. Like, do we know you?
Do we know you? Like, everybody can have a good resume. What vibe like you from you?
Right. So back to kind of fatherhood. You're a father raising, obviously a Black child in America. So what kind of world are you hoping to shape for her through your work?
That's a tricky one because it's everything's controlled by social media. I feel like for me, I just want to continue to create a place for her to feel like, there's a sense of normality. Like, everything doesn't have to be put on a pedestal. You don't have to be perfect. You can make mistakes and learn from them, and then get back up and continue going forward. And not feeling like everything you see has to be actually copied or done. Right. So again, social media, music, all those things kind of shape the way that everyone thinks and moves. So I try to do a really good job when I'm with my daughter to just talk to her, like have like actual conversations and not just making it all about fun. You know what I'm saying? Because at this point in time now,
you gotta be talking to your kids.
Talking to your kids because we don't raise them. Schools do, their friends do, social media do. So I feel like it's one of those things where when I'm present, I try to really be present and not just present in the sense of, like, oh, here's your iPad. Oh, go play with your friends.
Like what's going on?
What's going on? How do you feel today? What's going on in your mind? Are you sad about anything? Were you bullied at school and stuff like that? So, and then I try to give a sound advice in that moment.
That's good, and it's a hard balance, right? Like, because you don't want to completely take them away from like social media because they need to be informed.
They need to be informed to an extent.
They need to be informed to an extent, but at the same time, it's like there's so much of it that can be controlling. So there's definitely a balance there. That's tough and obviously something we didn't grow up having to deal with.
Exactly.
In what ways can health and fitness professionals be part of the movement for Black liberation and influence?
I feel like it all ties when it comes back to just like, again, like setting that standard of like knowing that we're still going to be active and move our bodies and make sure that we are supporting our communities more than we support the ones that don't support us. And one of the things that fitness influencers and fitness coaches can do is just doing more things that are outside of their business. Meaning like, step outside of your business and go and do things and curate things that help support other businesses that's in the area that are Black businesses, or just businesses in general that you feel like support us. And that's one of the things that I've been doing is trying my best to go to different places and bring the community that I curate and
support them.
Bring there and support them. So like I said, on every Saturday we have Mr. Lanes. We run there and then we go and we spend money in there. And we're working on now doing something with Primrose. It's a new bar that just opened up downtown.
I saw that.
Yep. So we're having our next social there on June 1st. So make sure I'm looking for that.
Okay. Put that on my calendar.
So we're just doing things like that. And those are the ways that you can continue to show that we're still here. We still very much have power. And we can flaunt it by being outside and very healthy and calm ways of just enjoying life and letting go of all the things that we can't control.
Yeah, I was gonna say that I feel like entrepreneurs are we have to see ourselves as community leaders because you have the power to bring different groups together or the group that you've created into other spaces and continue to like build our platform and our community and just grow everything that it is that's us.
Exactly. Yes. We can't control what other people or other positions of power can do. We can only control what we care about, what we can do in our cities. So I feel like we start there first.
Yes, I love that. So, what is your advice to young Black fathers and entrepreneurs who want to lead with purpose, presence, and power?
Change yourself first. Change yourself first, and then change yourself. When I say change yourself, I mean figure out who you are and figure out where you want to go in your life, because that'll dictate who you attract and the kind of people you attract, and also the areas you end up in the long run. Everything in this journey when it comes to entrepreneurship and fatherhood is a direct reflection of how you see yourself and a direct reflection of how you also deal with yourself when nobody else is around. So if you change yourself first, everything around you will change. If you change your group of friends, and that doesn't mean cut people off, let them fall off if they're not meant to be around. But that just means just work on the inner first, and the outer will do everything that you need it to.
I love that.
Yeah, that's in all areas: fatherhood, business, entrepreneurship, friendship, all that. You change yourself first, your energy changes, and everything else around you changes as well.
Yeah. Your area, your surrounding area will adapt to where you are and who you become.
You know, how you think about yourself will dictate everything that happens on the outside of your life.
I love that. Yeah. So we're going to wrap up with our signature question, and I've been asking all of my guests this.
Okay.
So Black in Motion is all about staying in motion and just making power moves for the culture.
Yeah.
So what's one way that you keep it pushing and just stay in motion, whether it's in your hustle, community, or everyday life?
What is one way?
Just stay in motion.
To stay in motion. I feel like that's just by showing up and doing what I do best, and that's just helping people be healthier, helping myself, figure out, what does my life look like in every area of growth, because it requires a new level of balance. So I'm always in motion. The gym was the first thing I opened up. I had to figure out motion with that after having my daughter. And then I had to figure out how to, stay in motion with the run club by balancing the gym and my daughter, as well as family time. So yeah, I feel like I'm always in motion.
I love that. Black emotion. Alrighty. Well, John, this was amazing.
Yeah,
thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
And thanks for just sharing so much about your life, your journey, your experiences, fitness, wellness, all the things. Yep. So could you just tell the people, where can they find you?
On Instagram, my handle is Goodfella1911. That's my personal page. My gym page is GTA Fitness North Carolina NC. And then my run club page is We Run Durham. Check me out on all those platforms. I ain't on TikTok much, but I'm trying to get into it. But
we gonna get you on there.
Yeah,
follow, slowly but surely.
And I'll make sure I follow y'all back and check y'all out as well.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for being here. You all stay tuned for the next episode of Black in Motion, and we'll see you next time. Peace.